Amity University is a global not-for-profit global education group in which 150,000 students in 9 universities and global campuses from pre-nursery to PhD level are given high-level education. This group was established by visionary, benevolent Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan in 1986 with a vision to bring a revival in area of education in India. Nation building through education and other unique aspects. Amity University has been ranked number 1 5 times by India Today. It has also been given Indian Education Award in 2014, 2015 and 2016 as India's Best Research University, Best Private University and Best University for Placements. Due to Amity's foresight to set up a global knowledge network, today in London, New York, Singapore, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Mauritius, China, South Africa, Romania to Amsterdam, campuses have been established. As a well-known research-led university, Amity's faculties has the highest quality of scientists and researchers. They have filed more than 800 patents in the past year. These numbers are more than any Indian university. Faculty, DRDO, CSIR, along with the Ministry of Science Technology, such as Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and USAID, have organized over 300 high-end government-funded projects. Amity has also provided more than 2,000 PhD fellowships to meritorious researchers so that they can do new research in important areas which affect the development of this country. Amity's students have filed over 100 patents. They have also gained fame for many other inventions like India's first tri-fuel car, a unique quadcopter and a prototype F1 car. Because of this commitment towards innovation and scientific excellence, the Indian government rated Amity University as a scientific and industrial research organization, SIRO. Recently, Amity has been awarded as India's best university for placements because it has done more than 52,000 campus placements during the past years. Today, more than 1 lakh Amity alumni are working in the top global organizations and doing higher studies in leading universities around the world. Amity has also established India's largest private scholarship program through which more than 25,000 have been benefited. More than 300 startup companies have been initiated due to Amity. Business World has awarded Amity as the best innovation incubator. Along with that, it has been ranked 3rd among brilliant startup incubators by Entrepreneur. One among Amity Education Group of institutions is Amity University Haryana, established in 2010. Growing fast in just a few years of spell, today this university has got the best private university status in Haryana by CMIA and India Today. Spread over 110 acres, this university has been awarded as Asia's 100 Best Institutions by KPMG and Best Private University of the Year by ASSOCHAM. Amity University Haryana, devoted to academic excellence, has begun many new centres considering the demand of modern times. And the key among them is Amity Centre for Brick Studies, Amity Centre for Robotics, Amity Centre for Nanotechnology, Amity Centre for Stem Cell Research, Amity Center for Ocean Atmospheric Science and Technology. While striving for excellence in every field, Amity University Haryana has a government assigned weather and pollution monitoring station. Campus also has a unique military training camp where thousands of Amity students learn Amity military training module. This not only strengthens the spirit of patriotism but also strengthens them in the case of strategic leadership skills. Amity Military College is an initiative of Amity in the nation building. Students of this school are trained for admission in National Defense Academy. There is a unique herbal garden for conserving biodiversity in the campus. There are 120 medicinal species and plant research is also encouraged here. Apart from this, Amity's dog training center consisting 50 dogs is also commendable. On the other hand, there is a production of 250 liters of milk in cowshed with 80 cows every day. Amity gives importance to research. Many innovations of Amity University students received international and national recognition like solar powered vehicle, Amity bionic arm, and Amity humanoid. Intensive industry interaction is important for students of Amity. Sunil Bharti Mittal, Chairman Bharti Airtel, founder of Paytm, Vijay Sharma, and eminent scientist Padma Bhushan, Dr. Govindarajan Padmanabhan, have been coming here. Amity University is committed in creating positive environment. Under Amity's mission to eradicate preventive blindness, 12,000 Haryana villagers have been given free treatment and cataract surgery in Amity's eye camp. Annual Amity Gurugram Marathon is organized for the past 3 years. Over 30,000 runners have participated so far. In addition to making people aware of health, the university is constantly active on various social issues. Amity students are also active in issues where social inequalities are eliminated. Along with educating the poor children, cancer awareness camps are also being run by the students. Blood donation camps and AIDS awareness camps are also regularly organized. Recently, Haryana campus has got recognition of a sustainable green campus with maximum energy conservation. This is the reason why Amity Haryana has become the only Indian and second campus in Asia today to have been awarded the prestigious LEED USA Platinum certification.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sandeep, for playing this lovely video of Amity University. Dear participants, you have just seen the glimpse of what Amity University Gurugram is all about. So we would like to invite to our university anytime, any day, please do come and visit to our Amity University and have an exposure of this academic fraternity altogether. The next program which we are going to organize will be definitely in the offline mode, wherein I will be sending you invite so that you can come, visit our university, have a feel of our university, and attend our program. So I would like to, we look forward to see you again after a few months when I will organize this offline program. Today, dear participants, we have validity session, which is starting at 3:30 to 4:30 p.m., wherein the Vice Chancellor of Shri, a beautiful university, which is, just a minute, Vishkarma University, yes. Vishkarma University's Vice Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, would be coming to deliver his talk, and he will be the guest of honor. But before that, we would like to have a small activity here, which is a kind of reflection for all the 4 days which we have spent on this capacity enhancement training workshop. I would like to ask, and I would like to have your answers that what exactly the feedback for this training program, although we are going to have it in the valedictory session, we will be inviting 5 to 6 participants during that also. But here, I would like that everybody should participate in this reflection activity, which is very, very important to learn that what exactly you have learned throughout this training program. This training program started on 25th of April, that was Monday. And since then, we have beautiful sessions and very good and enriching sessions conducted by esteemed, I would be saying, resource persons. And they have highlighted so much on entrepreneurship. They have given us so much brilliant examples. They have given us the case studies. So it was altogether an excellent experience for me as a faculty. I can tell you that I have learned so much from them. And they all have made the platform so vibrant and so fruitful. And of course, this is not possible because of you, not possible if you were not there, because you have also made this platform so vibrant by asking such a brilliant questions which you have listed and posted on the chat box, and you were so active while during all the sessions. So that was the thing which I'm expecting now also, that kindly speak out, kindly tell us your reflections, that what all you have learned during this particular training program. One by one, you can just say your experience. Mr. Mobin is with us. He will allow you to listen to your audio. He will just pop up the channel and you can easily tell your experiences through your videos. So we can start this. I will just give you 2 minutes to think, or maybe if you want to write, so you can just write on a piece of paper, or if you want to extempore, whatever you want as per your own wish, as per your own interest. I will give you 3 to 4 minutes to just pen down your thoughts on a piece of paper, so that after 5 minutes, we all can reflect one by one what was the learning from this training program. This is a very, very beautiful training program, which we are this reflection program activity, which we are going to have just now. So I request everyone to participate in this. So just start pen downing your all thoughts, which is coming in your mind as far as this training program is concerned. You don't have to write here on the chat box. We will be allowing you to tell all these experiences through audio. So you can keep your ideas with you and you can just verbally tell us. Since you are writing.
Ma'am, can we start the promoting all of them?
Yes, you can promote Mr. Vinod Kumar so that he can just say what he has exactly learned. Thank you, Maksud. Mobit.
Promote sir, please. Yes, he accept my request. He's in the panel now.
Dr. Vinod, the one request must be popping up in on your screen. So just accept that.
Yes, ma'am. Vinod sir is in the panel now.
Yeah. Can we see the video of Dr. Vinod as well, Mr. Mobit?
Yes, ma'am. No sir have all rights. He can start video also, ma'am.
Dr. Vinod, you can show your video also, and you can open your audio video as well. Both the systems are with you. Both the facilities are with you. Dr. Vinod, can you hear us? Yes. Great to see you, Dr. Vinod. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
You need to unmute yourself.
Yes, yes, we can hear you now. No, we can't hear you.
Yes. Now?
Yes, yes. Good
Thank
to
you.
see you, Dr. Vinod. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Same here, ma'am. And really, it was a nice session. And thank you that I was a part of this session. Many things we can tell about the session, but let me tell you that now means entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur or generate an entrepreneur, that is a word for we people only. But after this session, I can assure que, of course, I can give some ideas, or of course, I can inculcate some ideas into my students. And after listening them also, so I'll try to, of course, generate some entrepreneur in from my departments as well. Being from a hotel management student means department, it is quite easy to means open any kind of restaurant, business, or food outlet. But with the new concept, with the new ideas, so I can help them also, right? And of course, in the last yesterday's class, the Professor R. Natarajan, said that the road ahead, so it means now still we are having a lot of things that we need to be learned, such kind of sessions, right, ma'am? So I hope you will arrange such kind of session in future also, and will be part of the same. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Vinod. Thank you so much for your advice and for your feedback or for your reflection, I would be saying, on this 5 days capacity enhancement program. And I'm very happy that we all have learned. I think if we all have learned even a 5%, then also it is useful workshop.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Now we are a little more confident as a teachers to how to communicate with the students as far as entrepreneurship is
Exactly.
concerned, and we have gained so much knowledge for on this particular topic. Thank you so much, Dr. Vinod, for being with us, and I hope you will be here till 4:30,
Sure.
and we will be having more one great session wherein we will be listening to great speakers. Thank you so much, Dr. Vinod.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we allow Dr. Yogita Bansal? Mobin, can you allow Dr. Yogita?
Yes, ma'am. Yogita, ma'am, there is a request. You can accept that request.
Dr. Yogita, kindly accept the request which must be highlighting on your laptop so that we can give you the rights for audio and video. You can give rights to Bhaskar as well, Dr. Bhaskar. Yogita is saying, ma'am, I don't know how to unmute myself. You must be looking at one mute button on your screen. Just press that button, mute, so that you can able to speak.
Yogita, ma'am, you need to accept the request. After that, once you join in the panel, then you can only unmute yourself.
She is accessing through mobile.
Okay. Ma'am, Bhaskar sir has joined now.
Okay, Dr. Bhaskar, can we see your video? Dr. Arup, Ms. Farah, you are going to have this session during validatory 2. So right now you can just give your reflection and the feedback you can just give during the validatory session. I hope you got my point. Dr. Bhaskar, can we see your video if possible? Mobin, give rights to Dr.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I'm continuously sending request to start the video, but I don't know things.
Dear participants, you need to accept that request so that we can see your video as well. Arup, Dr. Arup, you can just say a few reflection here as well, but feedback you can give during validity session. So you can just tell your things, reflection here as well. So kindly unmute yourself and start your video and come on screen, please. Ms. Farah, can you, are you ready for this? Yeah, I think I can see Dr. Arup here. So you can open your video and audio, any of you.
Yes, ma'am. I'm
You
able to.
are? Yeah, Doctor.
Myself,
Dr. Arup.
Arup
Yeah.
Barwa. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Dr. Arup. Good afternoon. Right now, we are just having this small activity wherein you have to give just a kind of reflection of all 5 days. But during validity, you can just give your feedback. Here, I need little bigger reflection from you. But during validity, you can just say 5 to 6 lines. Fine?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So kindly tell your reflection for this particular program.
Yes, ma'am. I think it has been an wonderful workshop. To list few things that we have learned, we need to focus on experiential learning to improve entrepreneurial skills, and then we need to focus on the local problems, like we can interact with the local SMEs and then try to solve their problems. Then we need to focus on research on industrial needs and then try to convert research into business. Then we can introduce a minor on entrepreneurship. We can involve people from the industry while developing curriculum for entrepreneurship. Then we can invite entrepreneurs to the campus to so that they can share their success stories as well as failures. And then we can have an incubation center, which to start with maybe as simple as having a working space with network connectivity for the students. And then we can participate in the global entrepreneurship network and try to plan some activities during the global entrepreneurship week. So these are some of the learnings that I take from this workshop.
Can you introduce yourself, Dr. Arup?
Yes, myself, I am Orup Barua. I am assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering from Assam Don Bosco University, Guwahati. Yes, thank you.
That's great. That's great. I hope this workshop is very, very helpful as far as entrepreneurship is concerned and as a role of teachers, that how we can inculcate all these learnings which we have learned. We can disseminate this information among our lovely students so that they can gain knowledge. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Great. Great to have you today. And we look forward to your feedback during the validity session. Thank you,
ma'am.
Dr. Arup,
Thank
for giving your reflection. Great.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Then Dr. Bhaskar, are you there? Are you able to join? No. Okay. Ms. Farah is there?
Yes, ma'am. Farah ma'am is here.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Farah. You are one of the active member I can see, and you are always asking questions and your queries. Thank you for being with us
you, ma'am.
throughout the program. Thank you
I
so
think,
much.
ma'am, in this whole program, I would like to thank you.
Introduce yourself,
Okay.
Farah.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Farah Kudsia. I work in a school as a PGT, and I'm also a research scholar in City University, Punjab. I think, ma'am, first of all, I would like to thank you. Because of you, I think I got an opportunity to be a part of this wonderful workshop. And it really helped me, like being a PGT, what more I have, you can say what more I have grabbed from this workshop is I would be more emphasizing on the activities which I have learned. because in +2 we have a student who generally feel very excited when they get such activities, and through these activities I think it will be a great opportunity for me also to inculcate them the entrepreneur skills and values in them. So I think this is what I'm going to take from this workshop, and I would definitely apply in my teaching. What more I think I really have learned from this workshop, that I'll be more flexible and practical in nature, because that will give me an opportunity or broaden, in fact, my vision to see my students who are more capable and who will have these skills. Yesterday, I think, ma'am, one of the things which I really touched me, that is of Professor P.V. Sharma sir's word. He told that it is not we who give, who teach students, but it is now we are in the generation, or we are in the period where we also learn from students. So I think I too strongly believe in this, and this really touched me, that we are not bounded with the age, we are not bounded with this now this factor also, that I'm a teacher and they are students. We are now in the generation where we can learn from anyone and from anywhere. Like myself only learned so many things from this workshop. So definitely, like, ma'am, I'm very grateful, and I'm really grateful to each one of the speakers who really have given us their valuable suggestions and ideas, and like to develop in ourselves also how a teacher should have an entrepreneur skills first of all. And if we will have that skill, then only like we'll be able to implement, or we will able to like inculcate these values among the students. So I'm grateful to each one of them, and I'm really thankful to you too. So
Thank you so much.
If I may say, Farah, I think it speaks volume about you yourself. As Dr. Sangana also said, I believe you have been very active all throughout. But the way you have picked up threads, I can assure you, it should be others to emulate that, one should always look for opportunity to pick up threads and, further improve upon herself or himself. And you have got that quality that you are trying to pick up good threads from everybody. So I'm more than sure that you will excel in whatever you do in your life and
thank you
continue
so
to
much.
keep learning. Great.
Thank you so much, sir. It really matters to me a lot, your words. Thank you
Right.
so much.
All right. Very nice hearing you out. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Farah. Thanks a lot. And we look forward to your feedback during validatory function. Fine. Thank you so much that you have learned so many things not as a university teacher, but this topic is so useful for all the teaching fraternity, that even in the schools, we have this topic, we have this particular subject on entrepreneurship. So all the students should imbibe these things in their mindset, that how we can inculcate entrepreneurship thinking among students. So nice of you, Ms. Farah, and thank you so much for being with us. And we look forward to see you very soon again.
Sure.
Thank you. Next, who would like to come? Dr. Anuj, can you come? Dr. Anuj Khandwal. Dr. Anuj Khandwal, can we see you? So nice of you, Dr. Anuj. Please open your video so that we can see you. Yogita, Dr. Yogita, are you able to unmute yourself? Dr. Yogita, are you able to come on the screen? Ankita Dalal is saying, ma'am, I would like to speak. So, Mr. Mobin, can you allow her, kindly give her the rights to say?
Yes, ma'am. I just sent the request. Ankita
Yeah.
ma'am, please accept my request.
Dr. Ankita, please accept the request which you just got on your screen.
Yes, she's joining now.
I'm looking for more participants for this reflection activity. Please come up yourself. Write in the chat box who wants to say. Yes, Ankita, can we hear from you? Dr. Ankita?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Dr. Ankita. We can see you very well. You are looking great. Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, so I
Good.
would love to say a few lines in response to the workshop.
Yeah, please.
So
I
first
hope
of
this is
all,
a
thank you.
reflection and not a feedback, because feedback you are going to give in the validity session. This is just a reflection, what all you have learned during this 5 days training workshop, right? Yeah.
So thank you for an amazing and enlightening workshop. As an attendee, I must say great presentation styles with lots of opportunities to ask questions and talk about real life examples, which all made for a really enjoyable and informative course. So it has been a pleasure to be a part of the workshop where all the positive, inspirational, and motivational speakers were present and who shared their experiences, wisdom, and personable presentation with all of us. So, although every speaker was extraordinary, my personal favorite was Professor Srinivas S. Shikhari Purkar.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
his way of presenting PPTs,
We
graphics,
convey your message to him
the real
definitely, because he was asking me that how was my program. So I will definitely convey your message.
Sure, ma'am. And his ideas of green entrepreneurial culture at universities, all of them were amazing. And I would highly recommend the workshop to everyone who is open-minded to different views and is giving it a go. Whoever is interested in entrepreneurship, the role of teachers in enhancing the entrepreneurship culture. So that's it, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Can you introduce yourself, Dr. Ankita?
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Ankita Dalal, and I'm pursuing PhD in psychology full time from Amity University, Haryana.
Oh, you are a student of Amity University, Haryana. Okay, great. Great to
Yes,
be connected with you. Thank you so much, Dr. Ankita. Thank you so much. And we look forward to have you during the
thank
validation
you, ma'am.
session too. Thank you.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you. Next, who would like to say few words? Dr. Deepa Bhattacharya, are you there? Can you say a few lines? Can you give your reflection? Dr. Deepa Bhattacharya or Dr. Surjit Kaur? Dr. Dhananjay Kumar Pandey, are you there? Can you say a few reflection about this training program? You Pratibha is there? You Pratibha, can we hear from you? Dr. You Pratibha, are you there? Okay. Shweta Menon, can we hear from you? See, you have, dear participants, you have to come up. You have to say, you are with us since last 5 days. So you have to come up, you have to say, you have to give your reflection. Why you are afraid of saying something?
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Who is this? Yes, yes, very well audible. May I know your name, please?
Yeah, Dr. Dhananjay this side.
Yes, yes. Great to have you, Dr. Dhananjay.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
see your
Ma'am,
video, Dr. Dhananjay?
yeah,
Yeah, great to see you, Dr. Dhananjay. Yes, yes.
yeah. Thanks, ma'am. It's a very nice session. Means all of sessions was very much interesting and useful for us. Actually, I am also here in innovation sale. So these types of workshop are really helpful for us actually to train our students at MIT University Jharkhand here. So thank you, ma'am, for organizing these types of training programs for faculty members actually. So, and yesterday, Professor Natarajan, it was really very interesting and very informative and thought-provoking talks given by Professor Natarajan yesterday. So, thank you, ma'am. Overall, my experience is very much very nice, and hopefully, near future also, these types of things will be there, and we would join that. Thank you, ma'am, once again.
Can you introduce yourself, Dr. Dhananjay?
I am here at MIT University Jharkhand, assistant professor in biotech department.
From which university?
MIT University Jharkhand, ma'am.
MIT University Jharkhand. That's great, Dr. Dhananjay. Thank you so much for your reflection today. And we really like that you have attended all the sessions and you have gained so much on this particular topic. And this workshop is only for you, dear faculty members. And next time we would like to invite you to our university to come personally here and attend such kind of workshops in the offline mode. So we would like to see you in person, and we will definitely send you the invite for the next workshop. We would like to have people like you who are so active and who are so enthusiastic to attend such workshops.
Thank you,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much
Yeah.
for being with us and throughout the program, and we are looking forward to see you further also. Thank you so much, Dr. Dhananjay. Dr. Tanima Sharma, you would like to say right now, or we would like to listen from you during the validity session also, but you can say you can give your reflection at this moment also. Mr. Movin, can you give the rights to Dr. Tanima Sharma?
Yes, ma'am. I just sent the request. Yes, ma'am. Tanima has joined. Please join in.
I have received requests from many of you that you want to see the video again. Many of you have missed that video. So I may like to start that video after a few minutes. But before that, I would like to listen from Dr. Tanima. Great to have you today.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
I'm Tanima Sharma, and currently I'm a student at MIT University, MBA for working professionals, Haryana. MIT University, Haryana. So, ma'am, I'm very happy to attend this entire session. The entire program was very informative for me, and I've gained a lot from it. And especially by Professor R. Natarajan, he has very well explained about the reason for failure as an entrepreneur and how, as a faculty member, we can help our students or the budding entrepreneurs to face such failures and how to keep them motivated. So that's the main thing that I've learned from this entire workshop, and how to be positive during the time of hardship that we face as a startup or as a budding entrepreneur. So that's what I've learned from this entire workshop, and I'm very happy to attend it. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tanima, for your excellent words and for attending this particular workshop. And we would like to listen from you during the validity session also. This was a kind of reflection which you have thrown, that what all you have learned. And I'm sure that once in your future, you will definitely disseminate this information among your lovely students, and you will try to teach them what exactly the entrepreneurship, and you will definitely try to adopt your role as an entrepreneur teacher.
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Next, we can hear from Shrestha Sharma is there. Shrestha Sharma.
Yes, ma'am. I just sent the request.
We have Afsir Majid also, Dr. Afsir Majid. We can give him rights to. Dr. Akshay Kumar also, Akshay Kapoor. If we can give rights to him. I think we can have only 2 more. So, Chef Dr. Kunal Seth would like to say something. We are keen to listen from you. Chef Dr. Kunal Seth. Mobin, can you give rights to him as well?
Yes, ma'am. Already sent the request.
Please write on the chat box if you want to say something. Dr. Pooja Jaswal. Dr. Miss P. Lakshmi Nair, are you there? Can you say a few words? Just give rights to P. Lakshmi as well. Yeah, Surekha Yadav is saying that please allow me as well. Dr. Surekha Yadav. Dr. U. Pratibha has written that I'm having issue with my laptop and network issue. However, as a part of my reflection, I would like to say that it's been a novel experience. In particular, enjoyed the talk by Dr. Shrinivas and Dr. Natarajan. Thank you so much, Dr. U. Pratibha, for your words. Dr. Surekha Yadav. Yeah, Ms. P. Lakshmi is there. So, Ms. P. Lakshmi. Yes, yes, you are audible and you are looking great. Just go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, a very good afternoon to everyone. And I would thank ma'am, Sanjana ma'am, and our respected Vice Chancellor, Professor P.B. Sharma sir, for organizing such an insightful workshop for not only for the faculties, but for research scholars like us, as this workshop has been a very great opportunity for us to not only learn about like what role teachers are playing nowadays, but also having an idea like how teachers play a very significant role along with the university in inculcating the entrepreneurial thoughts among students and how to introduce entrepreneurial education also. So thank you so much, ma'am, for such an insightful session.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you so much for your reflection, and we look forward to have your feedback during the validity session too. Fine. Thank you so much for your words. We have with us Dr. Surekha Yadav as well.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Dr. Surekha. Can you introduce yourself?
First of all, I would like to thanks to you for organizing such a great training session, and our Vice Chancellor, sir, because I am the alumni of MIT Business School, and right now also I'm doing my PhD in management from MIT University, Haryana as well. And I am the ex-student of Dr. Vikas Madhukar sir. So special thanks to him as well. And the overall the presentations and all the sessions was so good. So at the outmost, my sincere thanks to all the worthy speakers, and I really learned a lot from the presentation given by the experts, and it was such a fabulous and beautiful session and interactive as well. So we met so much the eminent personality we even don't think of in our future, the IIT professors as well. So it was the great you can say experience which I have learned, and obviously after the 10 years of experience in the industry, I have moved in the this teaching profession later on. So it's really been so excited for me to have such speakers, and so that I can inculcate the same things in my students as well. So our future of India will be bright, and really the futuristic knowledge for the students. Definitely, I can surely express the same in my class as well today as well, which I have learned in the last week as well in the 5 days. So it's really being you feel so proud when you express the experience of 30 and 30 plus years person in with your students. So your knowledge itself is shows that you means your experience become multiple in that situation. So really mean a lot for me. And thank you so much for all the worthy speakers, you and the all Amity staffs. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Surekha Yadav, for being with us and giving your beautiful reflection for this 5 days training workshop. Dear participants, you have to stay with us till 4:30 as we are starting with the valedictory session soon. And I would love to start this video again as I'm receiving lots of requests that kindly show this video once again. I request Mr. Sachin to play this video once again for participants. Mr. Sandeep, Mr. Sandeep, yeah.
Amity University is a global not-for-profit global education group in which 150,000 students in 9 universities and global campuses from pre-nursery to PhD level are given high-level education. This group was established by visionary, benevolent Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan in 1986 with a vision to bring a revival in area of education in India. Nation building through education and other unique aspects. Amity University has been ranked number 1 5 times by India Today. It has also been given Indian Education Award in 2014, 2015 and 2016 as India's Best Research University, Best Private University and Best University for Placements. Due to Amity's foresight to set up a global knowledge network, today in London, New York, Singapore, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Mauritius, China, South Africa, Romania to Amsterdam, campuses have been established. As a well-known research-led university, Amity's faculties has the highest quality of scientists and researchers. They have filed more than 800 patents in the past year. These numbers are more than any Indian university. Faculty, DRDO, CSIR, along with the Ministry of Science Technology, such as Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and USAID, have organized over 300 high-end government-funded projects. Amity has also provided more than 2,000 PhD fellowships to meritorious researchers so that they can do new research in important areas which affect the development of this country. Amity's students have filed over 100 patents. They have also gained fame for many other inventions like India's first tri-fuel car, a unique quadcopter and a prototype F1 car. Because of this commitment towards innovation and scientific excellence, the Indian government rated Amity University as a scientific and industrial research organization (SIRO). Recently, Amity has been awarded as India's best university for placements because it has done more than 52,000 campus placements during the past years. Today, more than 1 lakh Amity alumni are working in the top global organizations and doing higher studies in leading universities around the world. Amity has also established India's largest private scholarship program, through which more than 25,000 have been benefited. More than 300 startup companies have been initiated due to Amity. Business World has awarded Amity as the best innovation incubator. Along with that, it has been ranked third among brilliant startup incubators by Entrepreneur. One among Amity Education Group of institutions is Amity University Haryana, established in 2010. Growing fast in just a few years of spell, today this university has got the best private university status in Haryana by CMIA and India Today. Spread over 110 acres, this university has been awarded as Asia's 100 Best Institutions by KPMG and Best Private University of the Year by ASSOCHAM. Amity University Haryana, devoted to academic excellence, has begun many new centres considering the demand of modern times. And the key among them is Amity Centre for Brick Studies, Amity Centre for Robotics, Amity Centre for Nanotechnology, Amity Centre for Stem Cell Research, Amity Centre for Ocean Atmospheric Science and Technology. While striving for excellence in every field, Amity University Haryana has a government-assigned weather and pollution monitoring station. Campus also has a unique military training camp where thousands of Amity students learn Amity military training module. This not only strengthens the spirit of patriotism but also strengthens them in the case of strategic leadership skills. Amity Military College is an initiative of Amity in the nation building. Students of this school are trained for admission in National Defence Academy. There is a unique herbal garden for conserving biodiversity in the campus. There are 120 medicinal species and plant research is also encouraged here. Apart from this, Amity's dog training center consisting 50 dogs is also commendable. On the other hand, there is a production of 250 liters of milk in cowshed with 80 cows every day. Amity gives importance to research. Many innovations of Amity University students received international and national recognition like Solar Powered Vehicle, Amity Bionic Arm, and Amity Humanoid. Intensive industry interaction is important for students of Amity. Sunil Bharti Mittal, Chairman Bharti Airtel, founder of Paytm, Vijay Sharma, and eminent scientist Padma Bhushan, Dr. Govindarajan Padmanabhan, have been coming here. Amity University is committed in creating positive environment. Under Amity's mission to eradicate preventive blindness, 12,000 Haryana villagers have been given free treatment and cataract surgery in Amity's eye camp. Annual Amity Gurugram Marathon is organized for the past 3 years. Over 30,000 runners have participated so far. In addition to making people aware of health, the university is constantly active on various social issues. Amity students are also active in issues where social inequalities are eliminated. Along with educating the poor children, cancer awareness camps are also being run by the students. Blood donation camps and AIDS awareness camps are also regularly organized. Recently, Haryana campus has got recognition of a sustainable green campus with maximum energy conservation. This is the reason why Amity Haryana has become the only Indian and second campus in Asia today to have been awarded the prestigious LEED USA Platinum certification.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sandeep, for playing this video. This is an absolutely beautiful video of Amity University, Gurugram. You have just seen again the glimpse of our Amity University, Gurugram, which is so beautiful in itself, and we are having lush green campus. So please do visit to our university. As I have already told you that we are open, and next program we are going to try to organize in the offline mode so that you all can come here personally, visit our campus, see our practices which we are following here, and enjoy here. So dear participants, we are starting with our valedictory session now. And we are very delighted and pleased to have with us, I think very soon, our guest of honor, Honorable Shri Raj Nehru, who is the Vice Chancellor from Shri Vishwakarma Skill University, Palwal, Haryana, would be joining. We are very grateful to have with us Professor Sanjeev Chaturvedi, advisor of Uzbek India Center for Entrepreneurship Development under Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Uzbekistan, Republic of Uzbekistan, to deliver his special address. We are very delighted and grateful to have with us today Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Haryana, Professor P.B. Sharma sir. It is said that every ending is just a new beginning. Today, as we have come to the end of this 5 days capacity enhancement training workshop on the topic, role of teachers in fostering entrepreneur skills in students for New India. The program started on 25th of April, and today is the last day. Each day we got to listen to some exceptional dignitaries whose wisdom has made our knowledge wider. I would like to share a quick recap of the past 5 days. The day one began with the inaugural session, wherein the welcome address by Professor P.B. Sharma, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, had set the tone for this important skill development and entrepreneurship program. He mentioned his success mantra that working on the ideas is more important than just thinking about it. Professor Sharma also made this point that every teacher is an entrepreneur. He has stated that every teacher can be entrepreneurs by writing a book, by publishing papers, a patent, a platform to interact with students, and so on. He highlighted that our efforts should be towards creating millions of jobs through skill development and emphasize the role of teachers towards this mission by creating enterprising minds. Next address was delivered by Dr. Victoria, Head of International Collaboration at British Management University, Tashkent, wherein she touched upon the strategies for a new teaching methodologies by engaging students and doing it practically rather than just focusing on theoretical component. After that, Dr. Vikas Madhukar, Deputy Pro Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Haryana, and Dean, Faculty of Management Studies, gave his address and emphasized that right kind of teacher with entrepreneur mindset is essential, which could be achieved through discipline, job creator attitude, co-curricular activities, and right teaching pedagogy. Next address was Professor Patnaik, Pro Vice Chancellor, Delhi Skill and Entrepreneur University, New Delhi, wherein she touched upon the role of educators in developing entrepreneur mindset, where thought defining the co-curriculum industry inputs are very, very essentials. Next address was delivered by the guest of honor, Mr. Manish Prabhat, IFS Ambassador of India to Uzbekistan, for enlightening us with the foreign policy between Uzbekistan and India in terms of entrepreneurship and startups. and highlighted that the right kind of resource person is one of the key area, and higher education in this field is one of the important wheel of success. The address by the Chief Guest, Shri Rajesh Agarwal, IAS Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship, Government of India, emphasizes that the education should be for everyone, whether they belongs to village or it should not only be limited to the city-based, and stated that mantra for success is learning to learn and relearn. The second day began with the session by Dr. Shriparna B. Barhu, Head Center for Industrial Extension and Consultancy, Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship, Guwahati, Assam, who emphasized that to work in the private sector, you need certain skills like accepted to work as an entrepreneur mindset, problem-solving skills, communication skills, and risk-taking ability. The same set of skills is needed to become an entrepreneur. The second session was taken by Dr. Sachin Mudgal, Assistant Professor, International Management Institute, Kolkata, who shared his views on entrepreneurship teaching models. He talked about various, mainly 4 teaching models on entrepreneurship. The third day began with the session by respected Professor Sanjeev Chaturvedi ji, who spoke on the role of universities in developing small and medium enterprises. He gave wider perspective on SMEs and shared his brilliant examples and case studies of small and medium enterprises. The second session was taken by Professor Srinivas, visiting faculty from NIMS Mumbai and member CII Energy Task Force Maharashtra, on creating green entrepreneurs culture at university. He started his session by quoting John Kennedy's that ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for the country. And he concluded his session by quoting Thomas Edison, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. The fourth day began with the session of Professor Guha, Professor and Chair, Center for Social Entrepreneur, School of Management and Labor Studies, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai, on the role of teachers in nurturing entrepreneur thoughts among students in higher education institute. She discussed how to bring entrepreneur thoughts among the students in higher education institute. The second session was taken by respected Professor R. Natarajan, former chairman AICTE and former director IIT Madras, on creating new age entrepreneurs' role of teachers. Professor Natarajan gave a wider perspective on getting ready for the future of work and also emphasized the reasons why most entrepreneurs fail. Today is the last session. On 5th day, we had a beautiful session which was on reflection from the participants, and many of you have participated and shared your reflection for this 5 days capacity enhancement training program, which was really appreciated. Overall, 5 days were full of information and wisdom. This 1 week has taught us so much about entrepreneur and role of teachers, and certainly we all are taking away memorable and fruitful experience with each other. I'm sure that we will be able to pass down the knowledge gained on entrepreneurs to our beloved students. Now, I would request the participants to kindly share their key takeaways from you from this capacity enhancement training workshop. Mr. Mobin, can you give rights of audio and video to few of the participants so that we can listen their takeaways from this training program? Ovia, can we share this right to Dr. Ovia, Ms. Farah Qureshia, Dr. Arup, Dr. Ankita, Dr. Afsar, Majid? If they are here, they can just come on the...
Dr. Sanjana, sorry to interfere. Can you hear me and see me clearly?
Yes, yes, of course I can see and hear you. Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Can we start from P. Lakshmi is there? If P. Lakshmi is there, okay. I can see Mr. Dr. Ovia is here. So can we see your video, Dr. Ovia, so that you can share your remarks? Great to see you, Dr. Surekha Yadav. Kindly introduce yourself and give your, please, key takeaways for this 5 days training session.
Good evening, ma'am, and good evening, all the esteemed panelists. And first of all, I would like to thank you, the Amity University, for organizing such a great session for the teachers and the faculty member as well, so that because if we target the one who can change the life of so many, so that would be the great efforts so that you have did. So at the outmost, my sincere thanks to all the worthy speaker, and I've Vice Chancellor, sir. I really learned a lot from the presentation given by the experts, the view expressed during the workshop, made up the mind on the topic, and now it can help us to inculcate the same thing in the students to enhance their entrepreneurial skills for their future perspective. The positive effect, I would say, shall go for a long way. And thanks again for providing such a useful session and futuristic knowledge for the student of New India and the glimpse and highlights of the sessions. I would like to special thanks and the key learning which I have taken from this session. Special thanks to Professor Sanjeev Chaturvedi for giving such a expressive way how to inculcate the entrepreneurial skill and the child in the students, and Dr. Sachin Mudgil, very interactive session which we like the most, and we have really hands-on practice in that session. And special thanks to Professor R. Natarajan. It was the key learning from that session is teach and learn. So teacher should always be learn and then teach and then learn. So it was a fabulous session, and the team teaching the concept is explained by him very well. So obviously I would going to be use in my next coming career sessions as well. And special thanks to Professor Srinivasan, as he explained very well the entrepreneur, green entrepreneur culture at the university. So it was overall, the session was really good, and the interaction and the speaker was means interactive, and we feel that we are facing them like they are sitting uh, in front of us. So it's really been a expressive, and thanks to all of you, and thanks to Amity University for organizing such, and we will really want these type of session in future also, so that it will give the extra as to the country, to the teachers and to the students, which we all make the great India. And thank you so much. Thanks
Thank you
again.
so much, Dr. Surekha, for your
Thank you, sir.
Can we have Dr. Ovia, if he can share his, if she can share her thoughts? Dr. Ovia?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, this is Ovia, as assistant professor in ISRM IST, Ramapuram. Yeah, that was a wonderful section, and thanks for arranging such a sections. So on these sessions, so I have learned skills and attitude towards entrepreneurship and the roles of teaching. And I hope it will be a wonderful experience. It is a wonderful experience for me, and it will lead to a great towards our students too. And so thanks for such a wonderful sessions, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ovia.
Yeah,
Can we hear from Dr. Tanima? Dr. Tanima, are you there? Yeah, please.
Good evening, panelists. Good evening, ma'am. And I'm Tanima Sharma, and I have learned a lot during the 5 days workshop for teachers training. And what I have learned from this is the how to inculcate and motivate our students for during the hardship, at the time of failure, and how to overcome it, and how to motivate them at the time of failure. So that was more important for me to grasp, because at times people are so like demotivated during the hardship, that they are not able to cope up with it, and they lose their expectation of running or starting another business, or continuing with the same business. So that's what I have learned. And also by Professor R. Natarajan, he has also taught me as a professor how can I um, teach and keep my students motivated for for the entrepreneurship as a role of an entrepreneur. So that's what I have learned from the session, and how I can use various kind of activities so that the skills are developed among the students, uh, and how they can gain knowledge through them. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Tanima. Can we have from Ms. Farah? Can we listen from Ms. Farah?
Yes, ma'am. A very good morning to one and all present here. I'm Farah Kudsia. I think being a teacher and a research scholar, it was an immense pleasure for me to attend such a wonderful workshop. That is the role of teacher in fostering the entrepreneurial skill in students for New India. I will say definitely the objective of the workshop has met, because I, being a teacher, have realized that to have, like I too need to have an entrepreneur and professional mindset, so that I can motivate and my students, and I can better guide them. This workshop really helped me, as I think I have told earlier also that I'll have more practical, and I'll be more flexible in my teaching. In all these 5 days, I think I have gained a lot of tips and ideas from all the respectable speakers as how to really inculcate entrepreneurial values in students through the various activities, case studies, etc. And I'm really grateful to each one of them. Thank you so much. Although I already have told the word of Professor P.B. Sama, word, it really inspired me that, you should not have a limit in learning anything. So always like widen your brain, and widen your yourself to embrace learning. So thank you so much. And last but not the least, I would like to thank Sanjana ma'am. Because of her, I think I am a part of such a wonderful workshop, and have attended such a wonderful session. So thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Farah. Thanks a lot for your words. Can we have few words from Dr. Afsir? Dr. Afsir, can you say a few words?
And thank you so much for making us a part of this workshop. We are here attending from Dubai, and I'm the academic head of the Explore Education Institute. Basically, we are an institute. We provide like academic courses with a vocational interest. So I think that's for us, this workshop was quite useful in terms of understanding how our teachers should think about enhancing the entrepreneurial mindset of the students, as well as their skill sets. Both are equally important, I believe. And I know that this is a very right time to conduct one such workshop, because, the country, the India, our home country, is providing like a lot of emphasis for Make in India, or, globally there is a China +1 movement. And, PLI scheme is also incentivizing the entrepreneurs of this country. On the other side, the startup ecosystem is also gaining a lot of advantages. So that's a great time to have one such workshop, and we are really grateful to be a part of this workshop. One thing which I really wanted to emphasize is like the diversity of the resource persons who have been part of this workshop. And like there are people from corporates, there are people from industry, the ministries and all. Like they were actually giving us like a lot of ideas about what are the opportunities ahead of us. That is very important. We, the teachers, should understand that first, then only we can pass it to our students. And if you ask me about the key takeaways, there are a lot. It's like let me emphasize one or two here. the first thing which I really take inside me, like being the head of the academics, like we should encourage our teachers to have like some of at least a possible extent that corporate exposure. Then only they can guide the students, right? So that's the one thing. Without like having corporate experience, it would be difficult for a teacher to emphasize the entrepreneurial skill sets to the budding students. That's the first thing. And second thing is like we have to take conscious effort, in terms of like developing their entrepreneurial skill sets, whether it is like taking some industrial projects at the time of studies and all, like just completing the academic requirements may not be sufficient. We have to go beyond that by giving like what are the skills that have to be improved during this time period. Then we have to take some effort towards that by conducting various activities and all. And these are my takeaways. There are a lot more. I wanted to have like a longer session. And thank you so much. Specifically like Dr. Sanjana, she was actually guiding me throughout this journey, and all other organizers and the team of Academic Staff College of Amity University of Haryana. Great, thanks from a Team Explore here.
Thank you, Dr. Afsir. Thank you so much for your enlightening words. So dear participants, now may I have a pleasure of inviting our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P.B. Sharma, Amity University, Haryana, to kindly address the participants by his few thoughts. Can we have you, sir? Professor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P.B. Sharma, sir. Yeah. Sir, we can't hear you.
What a great privilege and honor it is for me to be with you at the closing hours of this 5-day capacity building program on the role of teachers for fostering entrepreneurship and startups in our universities and institutions. And that too in the company of my fellow Vice Chancellor, Professor Nehru, and also Dr. Sanjeev Chaturvedi ji, who has been a great support, help, and mentor for mounting such like programs at our university. Let me at the outset extend a very warm welcome to Professor Nehru and to all those who are connected to this program at the valedictory function. Having said this, ladies and gentlemen, let me also say that how happy we are in Amity University to organize a program of this kind, especially now that we all know that we are in a new age of knowledge and innovation. This new era and new age of knowledge and innovation has taken us several miles beyond the time when we understood the value and worth of knowledge. At the beginning of 21st century, we said knowledge is power. And we all work towards shaping our universities as centers for knowledge creation. We work towards creating intellectual property. We work towards patenting, and we thought that that's the way to go about. Soon after that, we realized that after almost a decade of 21st century, as we came to 2011, 2012, I was still at Delhi Technological University at that time. And we said that the power of knowledge, of course, is very important, but the power of mind has suddenly become very, very important. And power of mind and power of connectivity together, unless what we call today the power of ideas. And power of ideas became so important that people with great ideas became really the great entrepreneurs. And they were able to translate their ideas into new startups and new knowledge enterprises of the kind which are rising to great esteem, both in India as well as globally. But then we came to also realize that the power of idea gives rise to power of innovation. Power of innovation is a power both to disrupt as well as to create. And therefore, the power of idea, which becomes the power of innovation, is largely being used to cause disruption. And Dr. Natarajan, in his presentation, has very rightly said that much of the startups which we roll out in the country here, they are directly aiming at disrupting the existing market. While disruption is the rule of the game, it is the creation and growth and development that ultimately decides whether we are smiling with cheers or we are crying with tears. And therefore, the power of ideas and power of innovation, in my opinion, through entrepreneurship, must be utilized for a good cause. You disrupt whatever necessary, but do not cause disruption of the kind that will put us all into tears. Power of ideas and power of entrepreneurship must also be utilized for creating a new world of business, a new world of enterprises, and a new world in which we want to live in today. And we all are desirous to see that the power of innovation must be largely translated into new enterprises through the mentorship that already exists in our universities in the form of knowledgeable teachers who are inspired and enthused to support the rise of entrepreneurship and startup in our campuses. We need to utilize the power of entrepreneurship to create millions and millions of jobs for our countrymen, to create small and medium enterprises which will penetrate deep into the rural areas and will in fact ensure that the interest of the large population of the kind that we carry forward in our country is protected. And we need to do this now in a very different manner, and that's where the power of technology and power of innovation becomes important. We have to utilize the power of entrepreneurship from the point of view of not only improving the livelihood and power of our economy, but we need to also protect the interest of environment, and we need to submit to the cause of sustainability. And therefore, the new enterprises which people like me are desirous to create from the campuses of the university would require our teachers to understand that we need to now prepare our universities and the power of the ideas of our students as well as of the faculty and target it in the direction of sustainable technology innovations, which will give rise to new age enterprises. I require lots and lots of enterprises in the green energy sector. I require a great many enterprises in the sector of wastewater treatment and wastewater processing. I require great many enterprises to ensure that the quality of air is improved to the extent that it becomes safe for human breathing. Currently, our air quality is highly questionable. I require thousands of enterprises to help me to sort out the problem of food adulteration and improving the quality of food in my country. I also want thousands and thousands of enterprises to roll out from the universities like ours and in India, which will give rise to new age agrotech industries and agrotech enterprises, which will not only promote the growth of agriculture, but will do it in a manner that agriculture becomes a powerful tool to support the economic development of our nation. At the same time, we need to ensure that the power of technology and innovation brought into the agriculture sector also solve the pressing problem of water security which we have today in our country. Whether my teachers know it or not, but 80% of fresh water which we receive from God Almighty is utilized for agriculture in our country. And we are not at all conscious in terms of utilizing this fresh water in agriculture as much as we should have been. We are flooding our field when sprinklers could have done the job. We are wasting tremendous amount of fresh water, lowering our productivity in agriculture and causing tremendous amount of stress on planet Mother Earth for water. We need to revisit all these areas and promote technology innovations, scientific research that will give rise to new age entrepreneurship that will penetrate deep into the areas, our rural areas, and we need to create the urban habitat also from the point of view of a greater understanding and awareness of energy efficiency, water harvesting, and also living a life where we need to understand that sustainability has to be taken up in all aspects of our enterprise development as well as thereafter. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, I thought during the 5-day program, Dr. Sanjana Bij and the brilliant team of panelists which she has put together have done a great job. I was listening to the participants, teachers who attended this program for the 5 days, and I'm very happy and satisfied that each one of them have appreciated the speakers during the program which we fielded here. We also wish to acknowledge our sincere gratitude to the Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Enterprise Development of Government of India, Mr. Rakesh Agrawalji, who was our chief guest at the inaugural function, and His Excellency, the Ambassador of Uzbekistan, who also was who has graced the inaugural function, and very many learned speakers who have shared their valuable thought. Let me pray to God Almighty that after this 5-day program, when you go back to your institutions, my very dear participants and teacher colleagues, you will be seen as people of difference. You will be talking about new age entrepreneurship in your institution. You will be talking about the power of ideas, the power of knowledge, the power of innovation, and you will also be the ambassadors to percolate the idea that power of innovation must be largely utilized for power of creation rather than power of destruction that it causes. While I'm desirous to cause destruction in those areas where it is necessary, I do not want to end up by causing more disruption than the construction and reconstruction that I can cause using promotion of innovations and innovative enterprises. I give you one example where I felt happy about disruption. For a very long time, we were asking ourselves when our taxi fellows will become honest. You come out of the railway station at Delhi, ask them to take you to IIT Delhi, and they will charge you hell of a lot and tell you, sir, बहुत दूर है, इसमें तो 10,000 रुपए या 5,000 रुपए लगेंगे. Today, wherever you want to go, nobody can cheat you, my friend. That's the power of idea. That's the power of innovation through Uber and Ola that had made all the taxi drivers damn honest overnight. Such like innovations can also make each and every Indian honest, including the politicians. If somebody can develop an application by which we can really assure a day when every Indian sitting in the chair of authority or otherwise is paying his tribute to Satyanarayan Bhagwan, the power of truth will descend on India. So I think innovations are required. We need to cause disruption in areas where for a very long time we have been struggling to find answers, and we need to engage seriously in reconstructing, recreating, and redesigning India of our dream. I'm very happy that the Vice Chancellor of the Central University of Haryana, Dr. Nehru himself is here, and he will be giving us the benefit of his thoughts at the valedictory function here. I extend a very warm welcome to you, Professor Nehru, as well as to you, Dr. Sanjeev Chaturvedi ji, for hand-holding Amity University, Haryana in mounting programs of such high value for the benefit of our teachers of colleges and universities in India. I extend a very warm welcome to each one of you connected to this program. Thank you, Dr. Sanjana, for giving me an opportunity to be with you at the valedictory function. A warm welcome to each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, respected Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor P.V. Sharma, sir, for enlightening us with your beautiful thoughts. Now I would like to invite Professor Sanjeev Chaturvedi, advisor of Uzbek India Center for Entrepreneurship Development under the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Republic of Uzbekistan, to give his address. Thank you so much, and over to you, Professor Sanjeev.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjana. It's always a great pleasure to listen to Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Sharma. हम लोगों ने हिंदी में एक प्रोवर्ब सुना है कि गागर में सागर भर देना. तो जब आपको सुनते हैं शर्मा जी तो वो एकदम यथार्थ हो जाता है कि आप में इतना ज्ञान है और आप उसको बांटते हैं, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है. So it's my special regards and special sincere thanks for inviting me in this 5 days program. I've been associated with this program for quite some time, and also like to welcome Honorable Vice Chancellor Shri Raj Nehru ji. It's always a pleasure to be associated with some of the best minds which are available in academics and trying to help the academic structure and academic standards in the at least in India, and of course connecting it to global scenario. When we talk about the role of universities, when I was taking a session day before yesterday, I think the entrepreneurship skill, the greatest challenge is the role of universities And it is like a mindset. When we call it mindset, it means that anybody can be an entrepreneur, not necessarily a businessman. Even a student or a faculty or a housewife or a normal person who's running his own business can all be entrepreneur. We have certain targets every day. As a housewife, you have to manage a lot of things. If you are working women, then you have to manage more than 10 things, 20 things in a day. So you are also an entrepreneur trying to manage everything with the resources, with the time, and of course the manpower which you have on your hand. So that is entrepreneurship is a mindset. It is not necessary that it is a part of business only. So that was the first message I wanted to give when we started this program 5 days before. And I think everybody who is involved in some way of working, or some, not only in the jobs or a business, but also at house, is an entrepreneur in my thoughts. Another important thing which we shared during some of the panelists over the last 5 days, that entrepreneurship should be taught as a compulsory subject in the universities. Like in MIT, we have a compulsory language when a student comes into graduation or PG level. So entrepreneurship is also should be maybe a core subject rather than an optional subject, and maybe some universities having that as a core subject, because all good universities we have seen internationally, there is some element of entrepreneurship which is a part of the syllabus. And I think that is very important, to teach entrepreneurship to everybody. Even a doctor or even an engineer can become an entrepreneur nowadays. So entrepreneurship is a part of the personality, not a part of only the syllabus. So I think that is one more thing where we can focus on, to make it as a compulsory subject. And it is a very interesting subject. I think students will love it. Faculty who teach them will love it. And of course, it have its own benefits when they go outside the university and start their own careers. Another thing which I want to share here on this platform is that the role of the universities are very important in connecting faculties and other senior people of the university with the outside world. And here is the connect with the industry, connect with the entrepreneurs, connect with SMEs. And of course, it is a big challenge because you also have a UGC syllabus, and you also have a standard format for how you have to execute that. There can be minor deviations, but usually you follow the UGC rule. So within these rules, you have to start having this style of flexibility given to the faculty members. And for faculty, I have a message which you may agree, you may not agree, that whenever you are taking entrepreneurship as a subject, or you are bringing entrepreneurship in your own subject, it is very important to see the outcome, because entrepreneurs are always related to results. So when you have to teach entrepreneurship, you have to also see what is the outcome after 6 months or a year or after 2 years. So that is the biggest challenge which we find in teaching entrepreneurship. I'm very happy to share with you that when before coming to Tashkent, when I was professor in Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India at Ahmedabad, we have a 78% success rate of our students, which means that if 100 students have projected their business plan, 78% of them got the funding, got the success. And success we do not judge at the end of 2 years, but end of the 5 years, which means 2 years in our campus and 3 years when he do the business. And we also have an incubation center, so that was given free to all of our students to start their business in case they don't have money. So the success is not only to start the business, but to sustain it in the market. And that is the actual success of a university or a department or a faculty. So when you are teaching entrepreneurship, it is very important to have success data with you. And I think that will be the benchmark of business community which we are trying to create in India or anywhere else also. Connecting with the conference through conferences, seminars, and of course, FDPs like this is a very, very important thing and very necessary in today's world, to hear other views, share our views, have a discussion, have heated debates. I think that's a part of learning for any faculty members. Even today, I am enrolled in many workshops myself, where I am just a listener, I'm not a speaker. So I think learning is a constant, I would say, static thing. And there is no university or institute which teaches you how to listen. We always tell, speak good, have a good personality, have good communication, have good skills. But there is no way any university teaches how to hear. I think that is very important, that to hear and to grasp thing is very important in today's world. And in business also, as you grow in your business, you speak less and listen more. You must not have seen Ratan Tata speaking for 1 hour. He just speaks for 10-15 minutes and listen more what others have to say. So listening is also an art. And I think these type of FDPs and workshops where you can listen and also share your thoughts is very, very important for all the faculty members present here in this as a participant. For students, I think there are many faculty members, I was hearing their feedback. For students, you have to create a team, and just 1 second. Sorry. You have to create a team, and you create a team at the starting of the first year, which means after 1 or 2 months of the starting of the session, you create a team which you carry for the next 2 years. And you connect with some of the business community, some of the SMEs outside, and involve these students to help the SMEs or the industry people or the corporate people to solve their problems, whatever help they need, like we were discussing, like market survey or information or marketing. I think anything which helps the industry, I think that will be the greatest learning platform for any of the faculty members and also the students which are involved. So you create a team in first or second month of your session of the starting of the first year, and keep that team up to the end of the next 2 years. And then you can judge, okay, how we have performed. And if you can create a entrepreneurship corner or club where any students can come and present or pitch his business plan of entrepreneurship, I think that can be during daytime, it can be in the evenings or on a weekend, I don't know. You can plan that according to your timetable. But it is very important for the students to think like entrepreneur, whether they are starting a business or they are joining a job. It's immaterial now. And that thought should be shared and expressed to fellow students, faculties, or anybody who is interested in listening to these business plans. And of course, lastly, very importantly, there should be a lot of criticism of the platform on these platforms, because the more the questions are put to the entrepreneurs, the better prepared they are. It may look sometimes very like not a good taste, but I think if it is a genuine question, genuine criticism, that will help the entrepreneur in a long way. So these are some of my thoughts, where the universities can play a role for faculty and where the faculty can play a role for students. I have been always told by my fellow colleagues that I'm less an academician, more a practitioner. So I believe that my corporate experiences before I joined academics has helped me to see the result, because ultimately everything is result. Success is one part, failure is another part. I think one of these sessions were on the failures also. but action and result is two important thing, and that is also the I would say the message given by in Gita also, that you keep on doing your karma, leave aside what is going to happen with your karma. So I think it was a very, very interesting for me also as a participant. I listened to some of the sessions here during the last 5 days, and I thank first of all Professor Sharma for inviting me here. Dr. Sanjana has been constant touch with the last maybe 15-20 days for this 5 days program, and it was a great pleasure to be a part of this FDP. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your inspirational words, Professor Sanjeev Chaturvedi ji. And very well said that we have not organized workshops wherein listening is very, very important. We organize the programs wherein communication is important, but listening is also equally important. So we must organize some FDPs or workshops in the similar platform. We will be definitely going to implement. Thank you so much to Professor Sanjeev. Now we are very delighted and pleased to have with us today's distinguished academician, our guest of honor, Honorable Shri Raj Nehru, Vice Chancellor, Shri Vishwakarma Skill University, Palwal, Haryana. Shri Raj Nehru is the youngest founding Vice Chancellor in the country who left his lucrative corporate career to serve the dream of transforming national skill ecosystem that is on high priority in the state and the country. Shri Raj Nehru has also served as a Vice Chancellor of J.C. Bose University of Science and Technology, YMCA, Faridabad. And he is a former Mission Director, Haryana Skill Development Mission. A veteran in human capital management, has spent more than 2 decades in various roles in different organizations, started his career with Indian Army and then moved to corporate sector and has worked for more than a decade with IBM and managed the global portfolio as Director Leadership Development. He has a wide global and cross-cultural experience and has worked in Philippines, China, Europe, and United States for his project. Under his leadership, Shri Vishwakarma Skill University has pioneered the dual education industry integration model that is becoming highly popular now as Earn While Learn scheme. He has also led this university to win various awards by national and international bodies for his exemplary work in the area of dual vocational education. Shri Raj Nehru ji is on the board and committees of various organizations, including AICT, UGC, MCDE, IILM University, Jammu Central University, NESCOM's Sector Skill Council, Guru Jambeshwar, and a member on a steering committee under Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana by Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Recently, he is appointed as a member secretary for the Skilling and Education Task Group by Administrative Reforms Department, Government of Haryana. He has written many articles, blogs, and recently got 2 chapters published in Business Expert Press, New York, in book titled Human Resource Management for Organizational Sustainability. He is a recipient of many awards, including Innovative Leader Award, Brick of Change Award, and Neelkant Saman Hall of Fame Skills Leadership Award 2020. Recently, he's been honored with the Most Inspiring Vice Chancellor Award by Golden Aim Conference and Award for Excellence and Leadership in Education. Respected Shri Raj Nehru, we are so delighted and grateful to have you today with us during this valedictory function. Thank you, and over to you. Respected VC sir, would you like to say a few words?
It's a great honor to have Professor Nehru, and we are so delighted and wish to thank you for sparing your highly valuable time with us at the closing hours of entrepreneurship program. Your words of wisdom will go a long way in inspiring our teacher participants as well as all of us here in Amity University to take up the cause of skill development as well as enterprise development seriously. So thank you so much, Professor Nehru, and thank you for joining us. Thank you.
So we cannot hear you. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, sir.
So, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir of MIT University, Professor Sharma, I was able to hear Chaturvedi ji. I think it was a very insightful talk that he made. Besides this, and thank you very much for an elaborate introduction, Dr. Sanjana ji. It's a really privilege to speak. So I will not get into nitty-gritties of it, but I'll straightway come to the point because there's also a less time that we have to work with. And the topic that you have today chosen is one of the most enterprising topic, that is the most highly required today in the country, given the kind of situation that world is going through and India is going through. But before I start the topic, I would want all my students or part of the audience to understand one thing, that today what we are struggling for and what we are talking about, India has been a hub of entrepreneurs for many, many decades. Today, when we are talking of making India an Atmanirbhar Bharat, आत्मनिर्भर भारत जो है वो भारत में पिछले 7,000 वर्षों से भारत की सभ्यता का एक धरोहर भी रही है, एक मूल भी रहा है। और उसका प्रतीक ये है कि जब हम बहुत सारे स्कॉलर्स को पढ़ते हैं तो उनमें से एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट स्कॉलर आते हैं जिनका नाम एंगस मेडिसन है। इफ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव हर्ड हिम और रेड हिम, he had a very important book to his credit which is titled Contours of World Economy. And this book he had written after doing a phenomenal research around the world to find out that which economies excelled from 1st century AD onwards until 18th, 19th century, because he was engaged to do this study and find out the economic conditions of various regions. You will be surprised to know that when you read this book, Angus Maddison, he was an economic historian, a very profound economic historian. In his book, he brought that in India was one of the most productive regions in the entire world between 1st century AD until 17th century. And believe me, he has written that the GDP of India, which is today around 5 to 7% of the world GDP, was around 35% of the total world GDP. Can you imagine how this was possible? What was happening in India? That India was that's why we used to call India the Vishwaguru, because India, something was happening in India. And if you go beyond 1st century AD, there are some research works that has been done by Srini Kalyanaraman Institute in Bangalore. They have in fact claimed that India's GDP was more than 35% claimed by or mentioned by Angus Maddison. It was somewhere touching around 50%, because what they talked about in their research work was that India had a huge business line moving from Mekong Valley in Indonesia through Brahmaputra rivers. It moved to the Haifa Valley in Israel, and this entire range was governed through India's metalwork, and India was famous for the metalworks. And that is what made India one of the biggest destinations to the whole world to come and see what was happening. And one of the biggest contributors to this is the education system that we had in India. We had great institutions like Nalanda, Takshila, Somapura, Udantapuri, Vallabi, Sharda, Kantanur Shala, one after another. If you see huge number of institutions that existed in India, and people from all over the world wanted to come to India and to find out what's happening in India. And it was prerogative for many people from Europe or China or Japan or the other parts of Arab world to go and study in India and then come back to their respective nations. And we have so many travelogues that many travelers have written, whether it was Xinjiang, Hunsang, or Fahian, or many other scholars who have already mentioned it. Lately, we have seen our education system got completely crushed and derailed by the Britishers. We don't have too much confusion on that. We have got all the Macaulay minutes, and then we know how the entire education model was disrupted and destroyed in India. And we have got research work done well by Dr. Sharma, who published his book somewhere, which is called The Beautiful Tree. And in that beautiful tree, it's beautifully been mentioned how Britishers systematically, killed that tree and, completely unrotted the roots of the tree. So we have seen last 6-7 decades after independence how we have gone, how slow we have been on many things, and now in last 20-30 years India has again started rekindling with its thinking process. And I have no remorse in saying, if you look at the in last 30-40 years, in India you have great contributors. You have Satya Nadella, who is today heading the Microsoft. You have who replaced Steve Ballmer, one of the largest organizations in the world. You have Sundar Pichai, who is leading Google. You had Ajay Bhatt, who invented the USB. You had Vinod Dham, who invented Intel Premium processor. You had Speer Bhatia, who was the Hotmail creator. And then you have Vik Gandotra, who created the social networking of the Google, and many more. If you can keep on counting them, and you will not end those counts, because India has started rekindling with that. And I am sharing this with you students because you need to build that self-esteem. You belong to that land where innovation was part of the daily affairs, daily living, the way people used to think, the way people used to operate, and that is still in our DNA. And in last 10 years, if you look at the record in India, we have more than 800 companies globally coming and setting up the R&D centers in India. And they don't set up their R&D centers for the local product development. Global product development has now started happening in India. They do the global product development, and the researchers are sitting in India in 800 research organizations that have been opened by the multinational companies in India. And who is working in those? Oh, more than 4 lakh Indians are working in these research organizations in India. So believe in your capabilities first, that you are the children of that soil. Just soil ke andar hi innovation or creativity koot ke bhari hui hai. Now, if you look at the last few years, 2-3 years, India has also again started showing a huge spurt of growth in entrepreneurs. I think the latest record, Department of Innovation and Enterprises, they have come out with the data which says more than 60-70 organizations have been registered in last couple of years as startups, and more than 100 startups have already been converted into unicorns. And almost among the big organizations in the world, I think India is now coming second or third largest startup and unicorn ecosystem in the world. So that way, India has now started rebuilding and recreating its own image that it had lost for many years. But what needs to be done today is one of the most important role teachers today and institutions need to play to do is that they need to think beyond the league. And two important things are critical for any one of us to really become entrepreneurial in our thinking. And when I say entrepreneurial in our thinking, it's about being innovative, and it's also about being risk takers. This is one of the biggest challenges. I tell you, when I used to travel around the world in my previous role and in my new role, I used to ask youngsters outside India what is their dream, and everyone would have some dream. Someone would want to go to the moon, someone would want to develop something for NASA, someone would want to work and develop something for the organ bank, someone would have some thought about creating an electric vehicle, someone has some thoughts to work with the NASA. So everyone, when you meet there, most of the youngsters would have some dreams and utopian kind of a thought process in their mind. I think that is one thing which we need to relook at as a youngster, as a youth, as a student. Do you have a utopian dream in your mind? Do you want to, are you visualizing something? Are you thinking about something which is not yet done? And why I'm saying this, India is a developing nation, and developing nation means it has got a lot of things to do to become a developed nation. So that means there's a huge delta, huge space where lots of the challenges this country is facing. That's why we are called developing nation. And if we have to become a developed nation, these areas which are today biggest challenge, healthcare, food, poverty, education, quality of manufacturing, healthcare, hospitals, these are agriculture. These are the areas where today India has a lot to do, where it can improve itself, and where you have to improve, there are the opportunities to really build something new, create something new. And that is where the students have to think that where are the problems and how you can actually find those problems, understand those problems, and what you can do to build those abilities to solve those problems. And your ability to function in this challenging environment and apply then the skills to solve those problems, I think that fundamentally is very, very critical if you really want to become a successful entrepreneur in future. I think another area I find is that unless the teachers become themselves entrepreneurial, it's very difficult to really communicate the entrepreneurial expectations from the students. And for that, teachers will have to also look at and shun the conventional methods of developing their students capabilities and abilities. So I was hearing in the previous lecture that we have what teachers can do about bringing in this business simulations and exercises, and students create their own real situations. I think they are very important, but they are a little bit older techniques as well. They need to be integrated with more contemporary actions. For example, helping students inside the organization or creating mock companies and then testing those mock companies is something that that students and the institutions need to think about. Rather than going outside, the campus should itself become an internship hub where students are experimenting with different opportunities and different ideas that they have in the mind. I think through experimental methods and real life settings, students can become active participants, rather than the passive spectators that they normally stay in the class. But to me, the most important elements that need to be added in our other aspects of teaching and building the student capabilities is that we embed the real life practice in the educational programs. And for that, you may have to design certain business games, and those business games can be only designed when you go and reach out to the business people and understand under what conditions and situations they are operating, and how can those conditions and situations can be adjusted and created inside those business games. And unless those conditions are created, those business games may not deliver the purpose and the utility. And how can students be taken to the live situations? Like, how can they go and meet the new entrepreneurs who have created their startups? How can they go and shadow them? How can they go and work with them? How can they go and do their apprenticeship or internship in those companies? I think this is very very important if we really want to build the entrepreneurial skill sets among the students. Unless they are exposed to the real world situation, they are exposed to the real world challenges, it will not be right and prudent for the institutions and academicians to expect that students will become entrepreneurs of tomorrow. we'll see more failures rather than we'll see more success. But when it comes to failures, I want to also mention that failure is not the biggest destructive thing that the student should be worried about. The biggest challenge is when people do not learn from when the failures are not teaching you what not to do. So but students must experiment failures, but from every failure they must learn what they don't need to do. They must also learn from others' failures. But teachers have to make sure that they create such ecosystem where students are given the opportunities of experimenting, taking new steps. One thing you must remember, India has been always the frontal place where the word jugaad has been used. And let me tell you, this word jugaad is not derogatory. This was labeled on us as a derogatory term because the Western countries wanted to label this on us to show that this is something which has got no technology or no innovation inside it. But fact is, jugaad needs to be understood. It has been most often misunderstood, miscommunicated, but I feel, my personal view is, because when I see the new technologies coming in, the students looking at the various so-called jugaads in the country, technology and this jugaad can come together and they can lead to a sustainable development that can save valuable resources and energy. We have the greatest example when Mission Mangal was made by India versus the Mission Mangal of West countries. How the kind of India-based jugaad, what we call jugaad, how it led India to have the same journey successfully done at the least fraction cost that the West had invested. So believe in yourself. Have a great self-esteem about what India has been doing. Be proud of that. Take inspiration from it. Look at your country. There are millions and millions of so-called jugaad, what they call, which is actually a transformative method that some people have learned. How can you integrate technology in those jugaads and take them and lift them to a next level can be extremely great opportunity for you. And how can you find various problems, various issues, various challenges that are surrounding us around, and how can those challenges become an opportunity to be worked upon and create new enterprises. With that, I stop myself and thank you for organizing this program. I'm sure you are actually curating this idea among the students so that they can also think that they don't need to be the job providers anymore. They can be the jobs creators themselves rather than job seekers themselves, and eventually make India grow, prosper. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, Honorable Shri Raj Nehru ji, for sharing your meaningful insight on India's growth, and also emphasizing on India's growth and entrepreneurship, definitely, and also emphasizing on that one must learn from their own failures and from other failures, and we should learn to grow ahead. So thank you so much for your insights. And thank you so much, Professor Sanjeev Chaturvedi ji, Honorable VC Professor P.B. Sharma, for your excellent deliberations today. Admiral Pandey, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Dr. Sanjana, for.
If you permit,
yeah.
just one or two sentences.
Yes.
Dr. Nehru was absolutely right that India was a great country, and it was a great country for very many centuries, maybe for a few thousand years. But the reason for its greatness was that India was an enterprising country. India was not a country working for the interest of the multinationals. It was rather utilizing the natural resources with tremendous amount of care and caution, and produced those goods and merchandise that were really very useful for sustaining a high quality of life, both here in India as well as around the globe, where our 7 seas were full of our Indian ships and merchandise. And India remained, in fact, as a hub of entrepreneurship. And that's why Indian enterprising minds were really ruling the world. But unfortunately, from 17th, 18th century onward, we became more a subject of working for the interest of multinationals. And that's where the entrepreneurship gradually disappears from India. I was born in a village where no one was unemployed. I was born in a village which was self-sustaining. I was born in a village where villagers used to say that we are living much more happier than people in the cities because we grow what we require and we live in a neat and green environment, enjoying the bliss of Mother Nature. India was, in fact, a great country because of its entrepreneurial power. And this power was the one which made India the wonder that was India. Unfortunately, we made entrepreneurship to disappear and submit to the cause of working for somebody else. And that's where all the problems came. But now I think the environment is very positive. We need to understand how to create millions and millions of enterprising minds who can cause what I often call mass entrepreneurship. This cannot be done using Industry 4.0, but it can surely be done by using the most modern technology for serving the cause of creating new businesses which will penetrate deep into the rural areas and for that reason, any corner of India and corner of the world, because the power of technology enables you to take anywhere and everywhere at a high speed with which you would be able to trade and transact. So I think the new businesses which we need to create need to go beyond the startups which are currently trying to disrupt. Rather, we need to create startups that would enter into the arena of entrepreneurship as a small business enterprises which have a reason to grow to very high eminence. Let the attraction merely to earn billions of dollars not be the major attraction for entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship should be to create billions and millions of jobs for our countrymen who are looking towards us. 666 million Indians below the age of 25 are looking at the vice chancellors and professors of the university to serve their interest of not only quality education, but quality entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial supported jobs in which they would like to really work within the country. With these words, I thank you so much, Dr. Raj Nehru, for sharing your uh, words of wisdom at such an important point of our program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. In fact, I may just take this opportunity to thank all the panelists here, starting from Dr. Sanjeev Chaturvedi. I think the key point which you highlighted is that we should learn to listen, learn to hear as we grow. And you cited the example of Shri Ratan Tata. In fact, being from the service background, even we are groomed like this, and we have stated that, you know, as you grow, that we should listen more so that you can take a considered decision. So very good point brought out by you, sir, and we are thankful to you. Shri Raj Nehru ji, I think you mesmerized everybody in a very short span, and VC sir has already pointed out about lots of key points that you said. But I was particularly impressed to, you know, some innovative thought of the university should have to create mock companies, become internship hubs, and have embedded business conditions and games. And also the fact of that we should encourage the students that, you know, from failure they should not get scared and they should learn some things, pick up threads and move on in their life. And obviously this is the best time for India, the way it is growing. You highlighted lots of key points of that. So we are really thankful to you, and I think all the participants would have picked up good threads from you. Last but not the least, our own Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P.V. Sharma, it is his brainchild that for last 5 days, over 100 faculty members from across India and abroad have benefited. And he always comes out with something great, and it ends up in giving excellent results. I will fail my duty if I don't acknowledge and thank my colleague, Dr. Sanjana Vij, who has actually worked very tirelessly to get so many participants who are very eminent speakers in their own field, and has been at it not only for these last 5 days, but even before that. So a lot of credit goes to Dr. Sanjana Vij for making this program a great success. A round of applause from all our participants for her. But obviously, our round of applause goes for Shri Raj Nehru ji and Dr. Sanjeev Chaturvedi, who are the guests of honor today. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, dear all participants. Thank you very much for your active participation. Thank you, and over to you, Dr. Chandra.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor P.B. Sharma, for being with us today during valedictory session. Thank you, Professor Sanjeev Chaturvedi ji, for your help and for giving your excellent sessions during this particular program for 5 days capacity enhancement program. Thank you so much, and thank you all the dear participants who have joined all through 5 days training workshop. And I'm confident that you all are become more confident as far as entrepreneurship is concerned. So role of teachers on entrepreneur has become a very, very major field nowadays, and you all have learned so much during all these 5 days, and definitely you are going to implement, disseminate this information among your students, among your beloved students. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.